Hi everyone, I'm in the she shop. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now. I am in the she shop. It's a hot mess. So I've been participating in the thrift diving 30-day room challenge. I have failed miserably. And I forgive myself because I have had some health challenges this month. This was not on my radar. This was not on my list of things to do. It wasn't even on my radar. It was not something I was thinking about, and it was not something that, when I sat down to make my goal, I'm going to be honest with you. Hang on. Close this. I'm going off script for a minute. When I sat down to make my 2019 goals, my health was not even on there. Just like, take care of yourself. Oh, wasn't on there. Didn't even cross my mind. And it's because I'd been fairly healthy. I had been struggling with some things, but not anything that couldn't be managed. And then I got blindsided for January. To be honest, we still don't know what's wrong. I think I know, but it's been a challenge. I ended up in the emergency room twice now. I'm starting to feel like I live there. They're starting to feel like I live there. I certainly feel like I know these people now. I'm thinking the hospital should name a wing after me because I mean, 1 week I was at the hospital every day for 5 days. And I was not at all happy about that. Woke up one morning. I had done a video. I can put a link in the cards. I did that video. And I had said that my lip was swollen, and I kind of laughed it off. I thought I bit my lip in the middle of the night. I didn't bite my lip in the middle of the night. And later that same day, the top lip swelled. And then my body broke out in a rash from head to toe. I had anaphylaxis. We're not sure why. We still have no idea what I was reacting to. Still have a ton of tests ahead of me. I have something that's called Hashimoto's disease, and it's a thyroid problem where literally my body attacks itself, attacks the thyroid. And the thyroid itself looks like Swiss cheese. Eventually it will completely eat away the thyroid. So, I mean, the possibility that all of this is related to that is high. I mean, that's going to be what I suspect it is. I have a lot of tests ahead of me to rule out a bunch of other stuff. However, I want to talk a little bit about Hashimoto's disease because it's very common. It's more common than people realize. And unfortunately, a lot of people are misdiagnosed. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Hashimoto's is one of those diseases that can masquerade itself as a lot of other things. So in the years before they figured out that I had Hashimoto's disease, I was told I might have lupus. I might have osteoarthritis. I might have congestive heart failure. I was thinking I'm going to die at any second because they kept telling me these horrible, horrible things that you could have. And it was like, and the weirdest thing was my gynecologist is the one who put it all together. These doctors don't have time to sit and go, oh, look, she's had this, she's had this, she's had this. When we look at the whole of what she's been going through for the last year, it kind of looks like it could be this. And she said, I want to check your thyroid levels and I want to do this test. And it turns out I have Hashimoto's. So they did a scan of my thyroid and it looks like Swiss cheese. It's got holes in it all over the place. And she's like, yeah, it's classic Hashimoto's. Like 1 in 5 women have this. I think that's what I read in a book called Hashimoto's Protocol, was that 1 in 5 women have it and most of them don't know it. It's extremely common and hard to diagnose. My frustration comes in with the medical profession. I have to see an endocrinologist to deal with this problem. And I want to tell you that they are the most unqualified people to deal with this problem. I am not going to lie to you. They are uncaring and unfeeling. And I was like, this is just ridiculous. When you have Hashimoto's, we knew I had Hashimoto's. However, they kept trying to give me lupus. I'm like, can we deal with the autoimmune disorder that I have before you give me another one? I mean, maybe we should just deal with one we know I have. My losing my voice like this chronically is also part of Hashimoto's. Because your thyroid swells and it presses on your vocal cords. So if I sound like I in and out at points, also part of it. Who knew? There's just all this fun stuff that goes hand in hand with this disease. And I get super frustrated. I've read like all the literature. I've read books on my disease. I've read 4 books on Hashimoto's, trying to figure out how to deal with having this disease. And what's extremely frustrating to me is that I go to the endocrinologist and she looks at me, and I told her I was having these joint pains, and it's one of the classic symptoms of Hashimoto's. Joint pain, exhaustion, all this stuff. She looked at me point blank and said, "You need to educate yourself on your disease." Y'all, it was a hold my earrings moment. I said, I need to educate myself on this disease. I live with this disease every day. You need to educate yourself on this disease. And you need to understand when I come in here, I'm not a whiny crybaby. This is something that is very real that I have to deal with. And there have been days that it's been so exhausting, I don't want to get out of bed. And I'm a mom. I got to get out of bed. And I do. And I cry. I'm so exhausted. I literally cry walking into the bathroom. And I go into the bathroom and I wash my face and I get up and I go get my coffee. And I pray that it goes away so that I can be a mom. But I don't let my daughter see what's happening, and I don't let a lot of other people see what's happening. It has been a struggle. It has been a constant struggle. And I think what I'm going through this month is related to this. What's even more frustrating is when a doctor looks at my medical chart when I come in with a symptom, the first thing that should be flashing on his screen is autoimmune disorder. Autoimmune disorder. I mean, it's like there should be a warning sign for doctors. Like their medical software should automatically pop up with, this person has this chronic illness, because they start treating symptoms. Like when I went into the emergency room, swollen from head to toe and rash, they shot me with an EpiPen, and then it was like, oh, well, you have Hashimoto's? Oh, it could be that. Am I really having anaphylactic shock, or is my body just reacting to nothing? That's what essentially is happening. My body is reacting to nothing. It is sending out a signal to the rest of my body saying, oh, here's a histamine reaction to nothing. To literally you just being in the room with yourself. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating that they don't have that chronic illness right at the top. Right at the top of that medical software, it should say chronic illnesses, autoimmune disorder, so that these doctors understand what they're dealing with, because they start treating symptoms before they really understand what's wrong with the person. So that's what I've been dealing with in the last month, is trying to explain to, you get a new doctor every time you walk in there. And it's like, I literally walked in and I just blurted out, I have Hashimoto's. Like the doctor was like, okay. I wanted them to know. It's like, okay, I have this. Is this part of this? Because they start asking you questions about, what did you eat? What did you touch? What did you brush up against? What did you think about that you had an allergic reaction to today? No, that's not what happened. And so finally I'm like, I have Hashimoto's. Oh, well, you have an autoimmune disorder that could have caused this problem. I'm like, yeah, I know. Why don't you? So, unfortunately, it's not, even knowing what's causing it isn't going to make it better. So, it's put me behind. It knocked me back more than what I expected. I didn't expect to be dealing with this for this long of time. I was really hoping to be able to get more done. Life happens. Life happens. So I had to deal with my health, and I should have put that on my list as one of my priorities for this year. You should too. We should all think about our health as a priority. And I think, especially when you're younger, I mean, I'm not in my 60s or something here, people, but I just don't think about my health at all until something's wrong. And that's not how it should be. So I'm putting it on my list for 2019 to take better care of myself, to think about, it's not a resolution. It's not me saying I'm going to lose 50 pounds and I'm going to be better at this. No, it's me thinking about my health. And that means, part of it means dealing with stress levels. Part of it means dealing with what I'm eating, as far as there are things I can do. That's why I read Hashimoto's protocol. I can put that link in the description below if you're struggling with Hashimoto's. I found it helpful. It was written by a pharmacist who has the disease. And believe me, if you don't have the disease, you don't understand. No one will understand you. If you're watching this right now and you have Hashimoto's like I do, your family can be extremely sympathetic. It doesn't matter how sympathetic they are. They don't actually understand what is happening to you. But let me just tell you, you are not crazy. You are tired. You are exhausted. You are in pain. It's not phantom pain. Your heart is palpitating. You are having problems in that area that you think you're having problems in, whatever it is. The joint pain, the heart palpitations, the exhaustion. I mean, and I don't even know how to explain exhaustion to you if you've never had exhaustion. It is not I'm tired. It is I cannot crawl to the freaking bathroom right now because I would have to move a muscle. And no one's going to understand that. I had a trigger reaction from steroids where the steroids triggered my Hashimoto's. Now, steroids obviously mess with your whole body, but it had prompted my thyroid to put out, massive amount of hormones while the steroids were working. When they abruptly took me off, they didn't taper me down, they just took me off steroids. All of my joints atrophied. And I don't know if you know what that means, but literally I couldn't unclench my hands. I couldn't open my joints. I was laying on the couch crying in pain. It's real. You are really feeling that pain. If you are having an autoimmune disorder that is affecting your thyroid affects so much that you don't even realize. You don't even realize what this little tiny organ does until it stops working. So I'm telling you right now, you're not crazy. And they will not understand you, and it may take years for doctors to treat you. I saw a rheumatologist once whose wife has Hashimoto's, and he walked in and he said, because they wanted me to have rheumatoid arthritis, the thyroid doctor wanted me to have arthritis, which I don't have. And he came in and he said, you know what? You don't have arthritis, and I wanted to tell you that my wife has Hashimoto's disease. And he said, it took me 5 years to get her properly treated, and I'm a doctor. 5 years to get someone treated. They spend all that time chasing symptoms and never curing the problem. Just saying, I would like like for doctors to understand what we're going through. And this may sound evil. I might go to hell someday. You know what? I think I'll be in good company. I actually wished Hashimoto's on the doctor who told me I needed to educate myself about the disease. I literally said, you know what? I hope someday you get this disease. Because I think that anybody who's treating somebody with Hashimoto's should have a better understanding of what that person is going through. Or at least some bedside freaking manner. That too much to ask? So anyway, there are foods that I can eat. I take a butt ton of vitamins every day, trying to do my best to ward off the symptoms of the disease. Right now, I'm not on synthetic hormones. I'm not at that level yet. And I say yet because it's coming and it's nothing I can do about it. There's literally nothing I can do about that. So, I'm not on Synthroid yet. But it's part of life. And I should have been more conscious of the fact that I need to deal with my health on a daily basis and not just when I don't feel good. I've been pushing myself too much past the point where I should have. So I just wanted to give you guys that a little moment of understanding why things didn't happen the way I had planned to. And I'm forgiving myself. It's hard for me to do. When I set a goal, I want to be right on top of it. But as you can see, none of this happened. None of the she shop thing happened. I have the stuff. I bought the stuff to do. Like put up the pegboard and I did clean. I can move around. Look, what? I can wheel my chair. Woo, all the way back. So I can actually see my floor. Look, I caught on here. Got a lamp here. I caught on the plug. So I can see my floor. I did do something for the 30-day challenge, but yeah, I know I had some people that were worried about me. I posted on my Instagram feed that I was struggling, and I appreciate the support and the love that I felt from you guys, and I really, really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm dealing with it. We're going to go forward, and hopefully in the next few weeks I can move past it and just deal with my health on an ongoing basis in small increments and not be completely overwhelmed by it. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. So sorry I didn't meet the challenge. I didn't rise to the challenge. I want to do it again next year. I know there's going to be time where I'm not done with this. I will continue with this, just not in the short time frame of 30 days. But I'm probably going to participate in Thrift Diving's 30-day challenge next year because I don't think it's cool. I think it's a fun way to jumpstart a project, even if I didn't finish it. I really think it's a good idea. I love Serena. I'm sorry. I will just binge watch her videos. If you've not checked out Serena from Thrift Diving, it's like going down the rabbit hole, y'all. I will just sit there and binge her. I just love her. Her voice is so soothing. It's just like, I could just sit there with her in my headphones and listen all day. It's hilarious because I'm like, I feel like she's my friend. I've never met her. We're not friends, but she's really, I'm like, I don't care. I feel like you're my friend. So, thanks for watching, everyone. I promise I'll stop whining about my health. But no, you know what? I didn't get everything done. And I did want to give you an update just because there were people that were asking and wondering and worrying. And I appreciate you worrying. You don't need to worry. I promise we have the best people working on it. And I'm a tireless advocate for my own health these days. So I will figure it out. I will be back on my feet. I am on my feet, but I will be back in the saddle again and be Stacy again soon. So thanks for watching. Happy Junkin, everyone. Bye.